Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Craig at Hiking Pipes. And today I'm going to hopefully put to rest a long-standing battle that has gone on. And I don't think I've seen any videos actually doing this, but if they're out there, I guess I missed them. Anyway, before we get onto the battle, a little housekeeping. I am smoking my Kaviki. Again, this is my big boy. And in it, I'm smoking some John Cotton's double pressed creme. Really like this. The interesting thing about this Kaviki is the coloration that it's undertaking as I've been using it. It's gotten this deep red mahogany color, really beautiful. The interesting thing is the area where the stamping is. The original staining that I think was done on this with the underlying briar was indicative of this color. So why this isn't coloring up so much, I know I'm not handling it in this area, but it just hasn't colored up the same way, but very nice. Anyway, for this experiment though, I'm going to have to put this off to the side as it may be hazardous to be smoking during this experiment and this battle. So what do I mean by that? Okay, put that down. The battle or the experiment that I'm going to try to undertake, and I haven't done a previous take on this, so this is going to be live for both you and me. Zippo versus Ronsonol. Which is the better lighter fluid, and are they the same? What I can say before we get on to it is that to find out if there's any differentiation in the makeup of the lighter fluids, I went and I downloaded the MSDS, the material safety data sheets for each one. And I looked, the formatting of an MSDS is standard. However, the information that is always contained under those formats, under the headers, the required headers of every MSDS, based upon the manufacturers, sometimes they'll list more or less. There's no standard there. But I did kind of bounce back and forth, and I looked at some of the critical properties like density and flash points and storages and evaporations and those type of things. And essentially they were identical. The other interesting thing that was listed on an MSDS is the manufacturer. And both of the MSDSs listed Zippo Manufacturing Company in Bradford, Pennsylvania as the manufacturer. So that's telling me they're coming out of the same house in the same place. So whether or not there's any different formulations between, these two, I couldn't really see anything that leapt out at me on the MSDSs. So that being said, we'll go to the physical experiment that I have set up, and we'll see what we get. I am going to try to reduce as much variation as I possibly can. I would appreciate if there's any concerns while you're looking at this, if I'm doing something that is introducing too much variation into the experiment, not to really skew the results. I would appreciate you commenting down. I will, redo this experiment if it's really off. So again, let's hopefully we'll answer some questions and put to rest what seems to be a debate on which lighter fluid should I use and why, and are there any differences in my Zippo lighter. So I'm going to cut the video out and we'll resume it with the experiment. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, so I've got the setup over here. So I'll explain what the tools of the trade, so to speak, and what we're going to do. Let me turn this that way. That's better. Okay, so got the 2 lighter fluids. Screwdriver was just to pop off the lids of each one of the containers. That's already been done. They're already loose, so I'll put that off to the side. What I'm going to do is use this, I call it a hypodermic of some kind, but I will be able to put the exact same amount of fluid from each into each one of these little glass jam jars that have been cleaned. And then I'm going to try to light them simultaneously with Bic lighters. So I have 2, so we'll make sure that both are ignited at the same time. And so we'll hopefully have an equal burn test going on. So the unscientific part of this is going to be the sniff test. And I'll just grab each can and do that behind the scenes here. Yeah, you don't want to really inhale this stuff too much. Let me pull off each one, and pardon me while I'm off camera here. Well, they smell very, very similar. I will say that the Zippo seems to have a slightly stronger odor than the Ronsonol, but again, very unscientific. It just seems to come out a little bit stronger. So not that I want to have my nose inhaling these chemicals for any kind of length of time, as I don't know the effects, but anyway, I just get a slightly stronger odor. The odor itself smells very, very similar. It just seems like the Zippo had a slightly stronger odor. Now, the only other factor is, whether or not the size of the Ronsonol, which I've used more of than the Zippo, because of the space that's perhaps within the container itself, maybe diffuse the odor a little bit. Little subjective there, but odor scent is, I couldn't really discern a difference. The strength of the odor was a little bit stronger with the Zippo. Okay, so I'm gonna cut out on this now to do the filling process here, because that'll be boring and it could take a lot of time, and I don't want the video to become a 30-minute video. So again, I'm going to cut out. I'm going to fill one of them, and then I'll get the other one loaded up and dispense it into the jar, and then we'll go forward from that point. So stay tuned. Okay, so I did the Ronsonol. I'll show you what I did with the Zippo that I did with the Ronsonol. So you'll hopefully be able to see this. I'm filling up, and not quite enough in here yet. Okay, not enough. Okay, so there's an indicator marks 1 through 12 milliliters. I put 2 milliliters into this jar, sealed it up right away, and I'm going to put 2 milliliters of the Zippo in there as well, just like this. Okay. Make sure I get it all in. Okay. Just get that sealed up for just a minute so nothing evaporates. Put the cap back on here. Okay. So, put that behind, over there. All right, so what I'm going to do, as I said, I'm going to try to ignite these simultaneously, and we'll see what the burn test shows us. So take off the lid here, both the same time, so evaporation rates hopefully the same. All right, so we're cooking. I did get the Zippo lit just a split second prior to the Ronsonol, and we'll let this burn out. Maybe I put too much in. We'll see. I didn't do this. You know what? Let's get these out of the way. That'd be kind of stupid. And let's see what we do here. Just make things look even. Huh. Really? The Zippo went out, but there's still a lot of fluid in there. That was odd. All right. So the Zippo needed a relight. So we'll take that into consideration, but just wondering how these are burning are fairly similar. Probably should have put a little less in here. Video is going to go a little longer, so I apologize. Yeah, I am doing this in my garage, and I do have the garage door open just a little bit. Seems like the burning very, very similarly. You know, at times the flame spurts up on each, and then recedes down a little bit and then flares back up again. So seem to be burning similarly, emitting little puffs of smoke. Let me just move the Bic lighter out of the way. Should have done that previously. Yeah, I probably could have gotten away with a little bit less fluid to just expedite the video. So I apologize for the length of the video that this is going to be. Yeah, as I said, I didn't try this experiment previously before filming it, so this is first time view for you guys as well as myself as to how this is going to play out. Yeah, so far it looks like overall it keeps changing. The only differentiation that we had so far is that the Zippo fluid did go out, the flame did go out and required that relight. So there was about a couple of seconds of non-burning in the Zippo. Yeah, definitely could have gotten away with a lot less fluid, I guess. But at least it gives you guys a good period of evaluation. We shall see. Looks, again, I'm seeing the same characteristics on both. Again, I welcome the comments from you guys, but it seems like the flames are doing very similar things in that they will recede down into the jar a little bit, then all of a sudden there'll be a burst coming up. It could just be the oxygen levels as things are burning within the jars, and as the flame consumes the oxygen, the flame dies down, allowing more oxygen to come in, and then it'll flare back up. So it looks like it's the two fluids are behaving in the same fashion. Discoloration on the jars looks very, very similar. So, discoloration could be a sign of the chemical composition of each as things burn, and what's left behind after something burns, could be an indication of a different formula. So I'm seeing roughly the same coloration, the same carbonizing, blackening of the jars taking effect as well. I think we're getting down there finally. Yeah, the Ronsonol seems to be pulsating a little bit, if that's the correct word. And if everything was equal, I would expect the Ronsonol to go out a few seconds prior to the Zippo, only for the fact, like we said previously, that the Zippo had gone out and required a relight, so that was a few seconds delay there. Again, the coloration in the jars that I'm seeing, they both have roughly the same amount. All right, the Ronsonol is out. And all right, the Zippo has exceeded the delay. Still going. Well, again, I tried to be as accurate as I could with the filling of the fluids in each jar. Certainly the Zippo is definitely exceeding the burn time of the Ronsonol. Yeah, even accounting for a little variation, and again the delay for the relight, I could say that the Zippo definitely, the burn time is definitely more than the Ronsonol. Okay, it's finally out. So anyway, either fluid will, I think, do the trick. So I'm going to cut the video and then spin the camera around and, final summary, I guess. So hold on just a sec. Stay tuned. Okay, so that was the lighter fluid experiment. Again, if there was any flaws in the methodology, if you feel that this wasn't done in the best fashion, I would really please ask you guys to provide your comments below. I could rerun this. You know, sorry for the length of the video. If I have to rerun this in the future, I know I don't have to use quite the same amount of fluid to get the experiment conducted. So whether or not you're a Zippo lighter fluid fan, or get out of here, or a Ronsonol, to me, they both work. Like I said, the Zippo just seemed to have a little stronger odor than the Ronsonol. The Ronsonol container is probably maybe 2/3 of the way full right now. I'd say it's a little more than halfway filled. This is a brand new can, so it's filled to the top. So whether or not that would make a difference in the odor or the sniff test, debatable. I wouldn't think so. Vapors are captured very well in both here, so smelling them, I don't think so. But again, I just felt like the Zippo had just a strong, the odor, the smells were the same, just the concentration just seemed to be a little higher with the Zippo. The fact that the Zippo had gone out was interesting. I wasn't expecting that, but once the relight happened with the Zippo, as you saw, it just, you know, it burned all the way down. And even despite the delay that allowed the Ronsonol to burn a little bit further or more without interruption, I think the length of time that the Zippo burned after the Ronsonol had went out, I don't think there was that much variation in the quantity of fluid that I put into each jar. I was trying to be as careful as I possibly could with the dispensing of the fluids. So anyway, there you have it. Either way, they'll still work in your Zippo right now. I still have I have the Ronsonol in here, and works just fine all the time. So again, I'll say thanks for watching. As always, be well, be safe, and most importantly, be good to one another, and we'll catch you soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.